all of the water. That's
sick.
really important.
That is.
Wow. Interesting. So not only are you here to tell us the real story, you brought with you some exclusive breakdown of the actual shot.
Yeah, I haven't watched this yet.
One of the arguments I made was that by putting paint on top of skin, you lose that sort of subsurface scattering effect, and paint just doesn't quite look like real skin would. And that was my argument against it being paint on skin.
Unless you paint in the subsurface feel to it. So the thing we did,
They painted it as if light was refracting through his skin and as if his skin was blue. Which, that is so interesting to me.
It is, and it blew his mind.
Sean Connery was a dog.
Connery has such a unique charm to him. You want to kiss him right now.
Dude, I can't take it.
Welcome back to the Wacky Wonderful Wise Works podcast. All
Right.
you guys, gals, geeks, and goofballs.
Right.
We're here again to speak and talk and podcast.
Again.
Right. And we do it each week.
Joseph had some lint on his shirt before we started.
Now you call it lint.
Oh, it's Lent now. It's not breakfast. It's not donut glaze.
What
Was
did
it
you
donut glaze?
I didn't eat any donuts.
You're the
What'd you
fat
eat
guy
today?
that bites one end and the glaze falls out. And
I
you're
had
Like
listen,
that scene in Spider-Man, the kid in the bus.
Listen.
And the juice.
Okay, this is what I did today. I had pancakes homemade, but I didn't do
Syrup.
syrup. No, I didn't have syrup.
Butter.
It might be butter, but I didn't have syrup. I did peanut butter as a substitute because it's better protein and less sugars.
Literally, your wife is pregnant, so your wife says, I'm hungry for some pancakes.
She did this before she was pregnant.
And you're like, oh yeah, I could go for
feel
some
that again.
pancakes.
That's
And
pretty
then-
big. That's pretty solid.
And then
Feel
you're
it.
making pancakes.
Get a feel.
Okay. And then you're making pancakes for your pregnant wife, and you're like, I'll take pancake. She's just, I can take an extra. And you take an extra pancake.
I had 2 pancakes for breakfast with peanut butter on them.
Okay.
Back.
Oh, peanut butter on them and syrup?
What are you
Don't
talking
forget the syrup.
You're not listening to me.
you
I
say?
literally just said I didn't
Mr.
do syrup
goes
and I did
buys
peanut butter.
a whole oven pizza and then eats it.
I don't. Okay. Clarify, Red Baron. They're not that big. A Red Baron
Bro,
is not an
a
oven
Red Baron
pizza.
is
It's
like
not this big.
a Red
It's
Baron is
this
like six
big.
and a half
Okay,
slices.
but a Red Baron compared to a take and bake, like a Walmart bakery take and bake, is way bigger.
And I've seen you eat one of those too.
Not in one sitting. I've never eaten one of those in one
You've
sitting.
eaten most of it.
I've seen you
Oh,
eat a take
You left
and
a
bake.
couple
Yes.
slices
Hold on,
to
I've
have
seen
for the
you-
next
I've
day.
seen
A couple is not all.
Yeah, I've seen
a couple
you.
is not all. Most, yes.
I've seen
all,
you.
no.
I've seen you.
Mhm. Seen it. Been here.
You guys had leftover pizza yesterday, didn't you?
No, Kenzie had it for dinner. There was only like 2 slices, so she took
That's
them.
good.
I'm telling you, I'm
That's some
making
good pizza, actually.
Oh,
That was some good.
okay.
See, now
It
the
was
barbecue
not.
pizza,
delicious.
I would say I would ask no onions.
To clarify, so people know, we went to Mellow Mushroom yesterday. Apparently, there's one that opened up locally here in Virginia Beach, and we went to Mellow Mushroom, and we had to, go in and talk to the shroom crew.
It's
to get this
ridiculous.
Mellow Mushroom pizza.
I was kind of disappointed we didn't have any mushrooms on our pizza, honestly.
I love some mushrooms.
Do you like mushrooms?
I mess with mushrooms.
When we were down in Georgia, John Mark got a platter of mixed fried foods like onion rings, French fries, and fried mushrooms.
Right.
And I was just like, having a good time. And then I was like, oh, let me
Let me have
stole
one of these
one-
popcorn
He,
chicken.
he grabs one of these. He goes, "What's this fried thing?" What is that? And Ethan goes, "That's a mushroom." He goes,
Delicious.
Yeah, I start losing it a little bit. My eyes start watering. I'm like,
Why?
I can't.
What's
I can't.
wrong with a mushroom?
I gotta finish this. I gotta finish it. And I swallowed it. But
What's wrong with a mushroom?
it has no taste, but it's
mushroom-
not good.
"A mushroom is basically just salty flavor."
No,
Yeah.
a mushroom
Salty, I would
agree.
It's
absorbs.
salty,
It's
earthy.
earthy until you mix
I
it
like
with
it.
something else.
I like it.
I do too. I love it.
I love the flavor of a
No,
mushroom.
a mushroom is a natural flavor absorption
Mm-hmm.
artifact, okay? So if you eat it plain, it has an earthy flavor to it. But if you put it with anything else, it becomes that flavor with a
Yeah.
new texture.
It's good.
It's wonderful.
I like it.
It's wonderful.
It is wonderful now.
Yeah, it's magic.
So Happy Valentine's.
No,
It was
isn't
last
coming
week.
out.
that
Oh,
was
it was
last
last
week.
week.
We should have happy on the last podcast.
Well, it doesn't matter. I hope you guys had a good solo Valentine's Day. And thank you for being friends.
No, it's 3 weeks past
Yeah, it was really
at this
good.
point.
It was really good.
It
Valentine's.
was
help
way.
it.
It was a week. It was weeks
okay.
ago.
Then what is happening? The Super
really
Bowl
good.
happened, and
No,
the
this
Philadelphia
comes
won.
up to YouTube. This comes up to Eagles. Yeah, everybody is saying they're gonna win.
I actually bet on the Chiefs.
You bet.
You put some money down with who?
Not real money. I was on Twitch, and there's Twitch points, and you can bet.
Fun.
I put some Twitch points down on the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Why?
Because
Well,
I was
they
watching,
are
I was
3
watching
and 4,
a
I
stream,
think.
and at the end of the stream, they were like, "Hey, the Super
Yeah.
Bowl is tomorrow or Sunday, and we're gonna leave this. We're gonna put up this poll
See who
and
takes it.
see who wins. It's gonna be up for 30 minutes. So I put down 10,000 of my channel points that I had, and
I got a question, and this is a little off topic of the Super Bowl, but people already know who won, and it's been weeks. So, do you guys think that the community tab on YouTube works? I know it gets us engagement.
On YouTube?
Like if I do a poll on YouTube on the community tab for our channel, we get votes if it's something that people care about. But even if it's not, like a few people vote.
yeah,
So I'm trying to wonder, like, do you think it helps your YouTube channel, or does it just kind of create a fun and atmosphere around your channel?
Fun atmosphere.
I think fun atmosphere.
Atmosphere.
Yeah, I think people see that and they're more interested. I know I've definitely participated in YouTube polls, and it makes me more interested. Like it seems like the content creator cares more. Like he wants to hear from his audience,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Well, I've been doing a lot. Have you noticed them?
Yeah. The
I've been
votes
doing
and stuff.
I've been doing a lot of polls lately, for especially if we have like a podcast clip coming out where we talk about something. I try to like see what the people feel about it and then advertise.
What did you think of Prince of Egypt?
What should I eat for breakfast? Waffles or pancakes?
Since we are
Waffles every
since-
time.
Look, I hope I'm not trying to take over
pancakes have
anything.
better flavors.
What is your No, it's the same ingredients.
Dang.
Except one of them is crunchy and delicious, and the other one is pancakes.
I will eat a waffle so much, but pancakes are better.
Pour syrup on waffles. Watch
They
what happens.
sop up so much better with
Oh,
pancakes.
they become little pockets.
They
They
fall-
sop up
You
so much
pour
better
some.
with
You pour
pancakes.
some. You pour some syrup on pancakes, and it goes everywhere. You pour it on waffles, and it gets all caught in them little them little grooves.
Yeah.
And everything.
Okay.
It's
No, I've
delicious.
been seeing.
Okay,
these-
so
these-
I'm gonna vote
crunchy.
on these. Let's vote on these real quick, and we'll see what the people had to say. Okay, so do you like the clickers from The Last of Us?
never played the game, so I would just say the
you
show.
love it. You love the look,
Probably
or
the game.
the game
Yeah,
is better.
So they love it.
Love it. Okay,
What do people say?
86% of our
The show is
audience.
good.
Out of 51 votes, that's really good.
Yeah, 51 votes. Okay, so what did people think of the Menu film? All right, it's amazing. It was all right, not for me. Wouldn't not recommend. Okay,
Hit amazing.
Hit
It was
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah, hit
Okay.
amazing.
So 29% said
It
amazing.
was
62. It was all right.
62,
That's
that
People,
was-
I that's kind of what I thought. People would enjoy
30
it.
It was
votes.
all right. There's only
34
3% that said not recommend.
That's fun.
All right, so we know the answer to this.
Yeah.
Okay, so which of these is the correct James Bond movie title? For your eyes only, for her eyes only.
Well, it's for your eyes.
For your
only,
eyes.
obviously.
A lot of people knew that.
A lot of people,
Yeah,
but
James Bond.
again, 23%. It's only
What are they,
13 votes, but
13 votes.
Okay.
All right, and the last one, this one's 14 votes. What do you think of the chosen show as a whole? Are you a fan? And it says, of course, not yet, or nope.
Of course.
Let's hit of course.
Of course, it's gonna be the most.
All
we
right,
got 15
actually,
votes.
no.
40%. Oh, some
40,
people
40, no.
some people not enjoying the
50,
show.
50.
Some
not-
people are
Out
not.
of 15
watching.
votes, obviously.
But there's hope. There's hope. 20% say not yet,
Yeah.
maybe. All right.
That's fun. I like this thing
like
on
it, yeah.
YouTube. It's really fun.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna keep doing those. So if you if you want to join us in that, just go to the studio channel, subscribe there, and follow us, and you'll see little posts we do like that. Get your thoughts on all of the upcoming topics we talk about. But you want to jump into your first?
Yeah, so the first thing we're going to be talking about is Avatar.
Okay,
The Way
once
of Water.
again.
Yeah.
But
But we're not
terrible
just
film that came out in
Well, it's not
Good grief,
terrible.
this is
we've
not a
already
review.
last year.
we've already
the worst movie of last year.
we've already defined that your definition of terrible.
I know my definition of art. My definition of art is different.
It's different, but
Well,
it doesn't
that's what we-
but it doesn't mean terrible.
Right.
So I want to react to a VFX. If you guys know Quarter Crew, they do this fairly often
on our podcast.
Yeah,
we can.
It's Quarter Crew. I don't think they're
going to claim the video. So they've actually done several reactions to the trailers before the movie came out, talking about one specific scene. And it's where Jake wraps the leather around his hand, ties himself to the animal, right? Mm-hmm. And they talk about it.
Before the film was out, it was an iconic shot.
Yeah.
Kind of.
And so they talked about like the water and the CG and everything. And I just kind of want to react to a little bit of this video that they put out.
Okay.
And so it's Ren and Nico, two of the VFX artists in Quarter Crew. Nico, one of the guys who started Quarter Digital.
Right.
And they're talking with one of the supervisor guys from Weta.
Okay, who were the animation studio for?
And he brought with him some footage and some knowledge about this specific scene for them.
Sick.
So they're kind of going to talk about it. So we're gonna react to it and then
How much
talk about it.
Is video we watch?
I'll stop it. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get some sound.
Unmute it
right down to the bottom. All right, here we go.
Are we plugging?
Starts with a needle. To settle the debate, we were on stage, and Jim said, I can shoot with an actor for an hour on set, and I get the action I want, and we get the water.
So this is the scene they're talking about.
Around with you guys for 3 months, trying to get the motion, trying to get the water, trying to get everything right. So he wanted to actually shoot it, which we did in a kiddie pool, a little plastic one.
How deep was this pool? Was it literally a foot deep?
And we had a little buck for the elu, or the skim wing in this case. But what we did was we shot Kevin Dorman, which is one of the actors that did the most on this entire film. We painted his hand, and we did the strap, and the part we kept was about here down, and the strap around his hand, and a little bit of the water in between his fingers. Everything else is CG.
Wow.
This is really important.
Yeah.
Because they're going to talk a little bit about this, but this is real.
Yeah.
This is CG.
Yeah, so this is obviously
all of the water. That's
sick.
really important.
That is.
Wow. Interesting. So not only are you here to tell us the real story, you brought with you some exclusive breakdown of the actual shot.
Yeah, I haven't watched this yet.
So you have not watched this yet.
No.
Oh, there it is.
So that's real. And VFX.
Wow.
Look at
That's
that.
so intense.
It's a lot to take in over 100 frames, isn't it?
It's so much work.
Over one shot.
So intense.
Yeah, so that's how you usually see Kevin, is in blue tights.
The
Dang.
paint on his arm. One of the arguments I made was that by putting paint on top of skin, you lose that sort of subsurface scattering effect, and paint just doesn't quite look like real skin would. And that was my argument against it being paint on skin.
Unless you paint in the subsurface feel to it. So the thing we did is we waited it out, and we got it to look the way we wanted it with the CG arms, and we gave it to the head of the makeup, Sarah Rubano. So she actually painted in the subsurface look for the lighting for that shot. So
Trying to figure it out.
The proper color, the proper reds, all that stuff. So if you come off angle, it's not going to work as well.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's only for a very specific angle for that to work.
Yeah, we knew what the angle was.
Good point. So that's about where I want to stop.
That's cool.
It's really interesting, though, that there's a lot that goes into this. So they have a practical person with a practical saddle.
Right.
But the only thing that they use
It's the hand.
was the hand and the leather strap.
Yeah, around the hand.
Now, the Quarter Crew guys have been talking about this in several videos.
They have a few videos that went viral talking about this shot.
Talking about this specific shot. And, you know, some of them were saying, oh, some of the water is real. Some of the water is fake. But ultimately, all of the water is fake. And he goes on later in the video to say that we have algorithms and we have fluid sims that simulate every aspect of water. So the bubbles, the small little things of crashing against something small, and the big things of crashing against big stuff like the whales and everything. But it's interesting to see that it's just the hand.
Right.
And then the rest is CG.
Now he did say a little bit of the water in between his fingers were kept.
Yeah.
So just kind of a really small, close interaction with the hand.
Yeah.
But also, I thought it was really interesting because Ren talks about subsurface scattering. So that's when the light is hitting you. And so, for example, like the red on my skin. Or if it's really dark and I'm shining a flashlight through my nose or through my hand, you're going to see red. That's subsurface scattering. Okay. And it's difficult to emulate that. But in this, he says that they paint in the subsurface scattering. So they accounted for the camera angle, for where the light was, and then when they painted the guy's arms, they painted it as if light was refracting through his skin and as if his skin was blue. Which that is so interesting to me.
It is, and it blew his mind.
Yeah.
It's like if you know everything about the specifics of the shot with lighting and color and everything, then yeah, you could do some detailed work with makeup, but it's hard to predict that. It's a lot of work just to keep that consistency from start to finish of a little shot like this.
And I think it's amazing that we take a big movie like this, which is 3 hours long, and whether you love it or whether you don't like it as much, we can recognize that there's shots like this that are really important to what happens in the future of cinema.
Right.
And what happens in the future of VFX, water, physical acting. And in fact, they say later in the video, I advise you go watch the video, he corrects them because they keep saying motion capture, which is what we've always said. But the guy who leads the motion capture says it's performance capture now.
Yeah, I have heard this.
They've redefined the term. It's no longer motion capture. It's performance capture.
Right.
And he says what you're missing in motion capture is the E part, emotion capture. Because they're not just capturing the way that somebody moves. They're capturing the way that somebody performs.
Yeah, and that's the whole point. That's why they have high-end actors acting the physical parts and not just being voice talent.
And he goes into it. He talks about work that he did on Gollum and Lord of the Rings, and that it's much more than just the motions of a person and the dots and everything. And it's a really interesting video. What do you guys think?
Goodness, I'm a little blown away. I'm just kind of similar to what he was blown away by with this idea of like, you can predict and use makeup and go kind of like the more traditional route for creating someone like a blue alien, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it never looks as good as what we see here. But if you're thoughtful and you kind of start at the end and work backwards in an intentional and careful way, you can do it and it can look convincing. That's kind of what I was blown away by. And then also we're leaning so heavily on this shot because like Quarter Crew, they had videos and stuff, but we have a whole film of this.
We have so many moments like this.
Do you though? We have a whole movie of this.
The reason they focus in on this shot is because it's in the teaser trailer, it's in the main trailer, it's in the second trailer. It's a shot that's in every trailer and in the movie, and it's something they've talked about because of the way the fluid interacts with the saddle, with the hands, with the leather. It's all really important to how we understand visual effects, how we understand acting, and how we understand the future of movies and storytelling. And we have a 3-hour movie full of this stuff.
Full. What did you think?
I was just thinking, like, at what stage, if we want to be this good in creating films and stuff like that, at what stage do we have to start wearing Hawaiian shirts? Because I got the Hawaiian shirt unlocked. I mean, that,
I think you start wearing it immediately.
Because
if you don't establish
the people who are heavily into creating good films and stuff,
they wear Hawaiian shirts.
They stick to the Hawaiian shirt. So do I need to start wearing a Hawaiian shirt? Because I can wear a Hawaiian shirt probably for every podcast.
Now, we got real bad news for you. It's not going to break or make your career.
We watched a James Bond movie yesterday, Thunderball, and Q walked in and he's wearing this hideous blue pineapple Hawaiian shirt.
And Wyatt's like, that's the worst. And I said,
it's hideous.
Shirt. I want to wear that.
It's hideous, but they're in the Caribbean, so it works.
Right.
I thought it was a fantastic shirt. I would wear it to go get some
groceries?
dinner or something. Yeah,
that's wild.
Yeah, I would love that shirt.
But I think this is really exciting. I think it's exciting that we are mixing practicals, we're mixing CGI, we're mixing even like the body paint, and everything to make something that's really incredibly beautiful. And I know you don't care for the story, but
I was gonna say this. This is what I was gonna say. I would say there is a lot that they put into this film.
yeah,
But just like Tenet is a fantastic concept.
I understand. Yeah,
But
Dude,
without the basic
hold on,
story,
2 weeks in a row of just slamming on something
Hold on.
that you couldn't even begin to comprehend.
without the basic story of if the story is not right, I'm gonna enjoy the visuals, but ultimately I can't enjoy it because the most simplest thing is not
well,
right.
this story is in fact the simplest story. So if you didn't get that, you didn't get
I
the
got
movie.
this story, but it's a terrible movie because it was so simple.
It was a simple story, but the
Good grief.
how much went into this. They
Yes.
tell later on about how most of the actors were underwater and they're swimming and their feet are moving constantly because they're actually underwater.
Yeah, and they had-
whereas opposed to what they did in the first movie, you remember when he falls into the waterfall as he escapes the lion.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a chair and he's doing this.
Yeah.
Whereas in this movie, they filled a pool
they have the water.
with white ping pong balls, so they didn't get any refraction into the water, and then they filmed them.
Nice.
It's really cool, and I'm really excited to see we've progressed this far with water, with what we can do with fluid sims. What can we do in the future with fire, with
air.
clouds, with air, with all four elements?
Earth.
Are we actually going to eventually be able to create the real Avatar?
Honestly.
Master of all four elements.
At least on screen.
Be really cool.
We can. We already
super
can create
excited.
the real
Yeah,
avatar if we
yeah.
want to. I don't know. I think overall, I'm a little disappointed in Joshua.
Why?
He's
I can have my own opinion.
He's allowed to have his opinion.
I'm allowed to have my own opinion.
It's a bad and wrong opinion, but he's allowed to have it. Everybody's
hey.
allowed to have it. I told somebody
It's
in
a
the
fine
comments.
opinion.
I told somebody in the comments recently, like our channels and what we talk about it's mostly opinion based, but it also deals with independent and critical thought.
right.
Right? Josh brings critical thinking and
I do.
independence
I give
to
very-
his opinion.
I
We
give
do as
very
well.
good
And-
thought, even if you don't agree with
Reach
it.
very
and the
different
people
conclusions.
and the people in the comments, especially what was it, the Last of Us episode 3 video that we did, they bring their own opinion, and everybody has a right to it. They're wrong.
It
yes.
could be a paid opinion
No.
by
Yeah,
no,
no, they're
according
wrong.
to you, it's wrong.
Well, they're wrong because they're jumping on a bandwagon, and they don't.
I don't jump on a
No,
bandwagon.
you're not. They don't have any critical thinking skills. That's okay. Okay. Maybe learn a little bit. Maybe read a
There
book.
is difference between the bandwagon and not bandwagon.
Yeah.
But everything I do has never been bandwagon.
Yeah, it's the opposite.
The opposite.
It is find what the public thinks about. The
Yeah.
true public thinks about something, and Josh was like,
Yeah,
You're
And
all
that's-
wrong.
That's good. It's good to come up with your own opinions. Divert from maybe what everybody's going towards. Think about it differently. And if you come to the same conclusion that everybody else has come to, then good.
Fine.
That's fine too. If you come to your own conclusion, that's good as well. If you like something because everybody hates it, that's dumb. And if
Yeah.
you hate something because everybody likes it, that's also dumb.
I'll say this. It's actually, I don't know. There, in this, what you're saying is you can actually utilize some people's opinions to help clarify a ignorant point that
Yeah,
you might not be aware
absolutely.
of. So what I'm saying is when we watch Rings of Power, right, we all kind of know there's a big problem here.
Yeah.
And it didn't take a lot of brain power if you know anything about Tolkien or know anything about Lord of the Rings. It didn't take a lot for you to understand this is a bastardization version of the story, okay? But maybe you get something like, a rough example, get something like Jurassic Park, okay? People loved it. It was groundbreaking. You watch it today and you're like, the animation is really rudimentary.
Yeah.
But then if you just hear someone who was around then and studied films who experienced that time period, you start to understand, no, Jurassic Park was literally the first animation in a movie. You know what I mean?
It was revolutionary.
Was it
and-
though?
Yeah,
Well,
on that
no,
scale, yes.
No, it actually wasn't.
Star
because-
Wars was.
No, it actually
Well,
wasn't.
no.
It was young Sherlock Holmes, the
Oh, okay, yeah.
the stained glass man.
Yeah,
who jumps out of the stained glass.
Okay.
He's actually the first kind of like mocap thing in a real movie.
But Steven Spielberg with Jurassic Park was the first one to take animation on a large scale and use it heavily for his film.
yeah,
Yes, he was. But
Star Wars was, but okay.
no, they weren't.
George Lucas was Star Wars.
No, because if you watch this, if you watch the, if you look at the time period, no one was using that technology.
Sure.
it wasn't animation. It was
Visual effects.
It was rotoscoping. Spielberg was actually using 3D animation.
He was using 3D
Okay,
animation.
maybe that's true.
For the
Maybe
dinosaurs
that's
themselves.
True. Maybe that's
Yeah.
true.
It is true. It's not a maybe. It's a fact.
But what I'm saying is when you learn that, this brought up a whole nother thing. When you start to learn that, you understand, okay, it actually is great because of the position it was in when it was created. You know, so you can say, I don't like Jurassic Park. The story's simple. It's just a thriller horror. And it's bad animation or whatever your critiques might be. So then you start to get a weird view of it. But if you just understand, no, this has never been done before, then you start to say, no, it actually is a genius film because they work twice as hard for something that we can work a lot less on and make it look even better today.
Well, that's the
because what
point
we
of
have.
that's the point of criticism. I've read comments in our comment section that are like, "Oh, look at these guys who are criticizing these 2-time Emmy award-winning writers." I'm
That
like,
means nothing.
it means nothing because we're not criticizing. We're pointing out things that people know, right?
Yes.
And we're giving alternatives. It's critical thinking. To be able to look at something, whether you dislike it like Avatar or Tenet, but still be able to recognize the good parts, right? To recognize the animation, to recognize, you know, what is good in a film, what is bad in a film. It's critical thinking, and everybody has a different opinion.
Yes.
That's the point of all this. It's not just jumping on a bandwagon and saying, oh, that was a good episode.
Yeah.
Take a look at it, think about it, and formulate your own opinion. Otherwise, I don't know, it's not as fun.
And we give you the option to give you your opinion.
It's
in
more
polls
fun
we
that Josh
post.
disagrees.
Well, it's fun in this room
If
between
we
the
all,
three of us.
if we all agreed, I think we wouldn't have as long conversations.
But me and you don't agree on a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
No, you guys agree with
we agreed on
plenty.
a lot of stuff, but
No, I can see where he's coming from better than I can see where you're coming from. Now, that does not mean we agree. We could still think different things. I just understand what he's trying to say. Whereas sometimes you're just like, friggin' didn't sit well with me.
No.
And I don't understand why.
The authority of things? Me.
What?
Opinion-based-
Hold on.
Oh no, I think you've got that backwards. Opinion-based Joshua, authority people who do research and facts.
Yeah.
I have all the authority and fact.
No, you only opinions.
Who's
It's
our patron
only
that we're supposed to be
opinion-based.
thanking this year?
He
this
always
week?
just,
Cynthia.
hey, Cynthia.
Thank you.
For being a Patreon supporter.
Yeah.
Look, you're the best. And sometimes Joshua honestly could make it intolerable for these patron supporters. Leaving
I think they
nonsense
love
opinions.
it. I think they like it. Behind the scenes is a little bit more real. It's a little bit more fun.
Man.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you, Cynthia, for being a Patreon supporter. What do we have next?
We have our well, it was supposed to be like spy posters that we did, but
on.
we all went James Bond.
No.
I said
Yes.
James Bond-esque. I said
No,
I
I
missed the
clarified.
I
and
said
he said
it
both.
could be James Bond or spy or anything you want.
I didn't hear that. I went immediately to James
So we
Bond.
all went James Bond.
I clarified. I said, "Hey, Wyatt, is it spy or is it James Bond?"
And I said it could be
mock
anything.
posters.
I went James
Who-
Bond.
do you know what order they're in?
Yeah, it's Joe, me, you.
Okay.
So we all made James Bond posters, like fake posters with our own twist, our own titles, our own
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah.
Did you guys create stories for yours?
Yeah, but I didn't write it down.
Well,
Kinda.
no one wrote it down, I don't think.
Yeah.
But we all have rough stories.
Yeah.
So we need to share this. You got to pitch it.
I also want to hear like kind of your process, your thought
Yes,
process for
yes,
creating this.
absolutely.
So first up, we have Joe's poster.
Okay.
Bam.
Oh, I love this. I love these.
You like that?
I love the
Yeah.
accents.
Well, I put it in, and then I thought there's too much dead space on the edges, so I
I
put it in
love
on
it.
007. Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
This is a kiss on paper.
Yeah.
what
really
a cool
good
You
title.
like that?
Your color choices I enjoy. Tell us what went into this.
Okay, so the rough idea of A Kiss on Paper, it's less of a blow up, like chase scene action James Bond film, and more of like a Casino Royale. It's a thought. It's a I'm more clever than you kind of James Bond, right?
Okay.
So there are two women that he knows one of them is the villain, but he has an intimate relationship with both.
As James Bond would.
As James Bond would. Now, he discovers through clues that this one of them is reaching out to him anonymously and giving him clues to lead him, basically to manipulate him.
You've been watching
I have
you
been
way
watching
too
you.
much.
And I also heard about this new book that J.J. Abrams wrote. It's called S, and it's a crazy concept. I would like to tell you about it later. But I did get inspiration from that.
And you made it like a tear paper on the top.
Yes.
I like it.
So some of the thought process, we obviously have the two women, right? Shadowed, you know? There's thoughtfulness, there's question behind each of them. They're shadowed, they're red like blood, like murder. We have two stretches out here, not just to fill frame and space in the poster, but to understand if he chooses a path and goes down him, he can't go back and just like fix what he made a mistake on. He has to choose a path.
Choose a path.
One of them,
I like it.
One of them is wrong. One of them's the villain, and he has emotional baggage with both. All right.
Yeah.
We get a little bit of the stylization for the gun barrel appear. We have A Kiss on Paper, obviously, is the title, and yes, the clues do come through paper and books, and they're both intimate, and he doesn't know which one's which. He doesn't know who's the villain.
So if you don't mind me saying, my critique, not like critique, because I don't think any of this is necessarily bad. I will say this looks much more like a book cover.
This looks like a book.
Did you see some of the
There-
old?
Yes,
It's older.
I've researched my James Bond posters. This looks like a book cover, and I love it. I think it's really great. It's really 3 tones, 3 colors, 4 if you consider the 007 at the bottom.
Yeah.
Which is in all of ours. The little 007.
We all got a 007 on our posters, which is a
Very
standard,
good.
I think.
And I actually, well, we'll talk about it when we get to mine.
Yeah.
So, okay, what other thoughts do you have that maybe I could have done better?
I don't really have any.
Cartoon-esque,
any
very old
critiques.
style.
That's the point. I
No,
wanted to go.
yeah.
I didn't want to
Yeah.
name the. I didn't want to
Very
name
different
the
from
James
my
Bond.
poster.
Yeah.
Okay. So I
Very
didn't give him a
different from
face.
my-
And that's
poster.
why I say book, because he doesn't really have a face, and everything is. I mean, it looks like a book cover.
Yeah,
It's-
I would agree with that.
Does it
It's
for
an
real?
amazing book cover.
Not
I
so
would,
much a film cover,
If this
though.
was a book cover, I would pick up this book instantly
And read it, maybe.
and read it 100% all the way through.
Maybe I should work in the publishing industry.
It's a really, really good book cover.
Dang
Yeah.
it.
That's all I gotta say. I want to see why.
I don't know. I could see this as like a classic poster outside of a theater, and be like, oh yeah, that's a cool take on
Yeah,
on
maybe
the
in
film.
the 40s.
Yeah,
or
I-
60s.
These are the kind of posters they had back then.
I don't know. We'll move on to mine. So this I feel like is a book cover or a really old movie cover.
Yeah.
Okay.
I kind of styled mine off the later covers of the James Bond.
Yours
stuff.
is
That's
pretty narrow.
So thin.
It is narrow. I should have brought it in a little bit. But I actually started with a lighter blue for the background.
Right.
But I wanted that orange blue because a lot of the James Bond posters have accents of orange and accents of blue.
What's this actor's name? Sam something?
This is Sam Neill.
Sam
from
Neill
Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
And actually, there's a video test his like audition screening of him as James Bond.
Really?
You made him skydiving up front.
Really
too.
like it, and he's one of those actors I wish had been James Bond.
Yeah.
So you decided to throw him in your own fiction.
Yeah. So I went with one of the titles that we used for one of the previous videos, Honeymoon Man.
yeah.
So I
So
put
you
in,
cheated a little.
I grabbed a previous title that I made up.
Yeah.
So I made up the title. I had the Hawaii with the orange accents and the watercolor.
This honestly, now this feels like James Bond, but it actually reminds me more of Magnum PI.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest.
I would agree.
Well,
I think more Magnum
This
PI.
is inspired by the I don't remember which. It might be the Living Daylights.
Yeah.
Okay.
poster.
Yeah.
A very
which I said
wacky
was
version of
which
it.
I said was my favorite.
Yeah.
Which is very much Magnum PI. And I went with the Hawaii. I went with the orange kind of colors because honeymoon.
Yeah.
Honeymoon man. So my idea is kind of that he is maybe James Bond is on a honeymoon
Right.
with a lady,
Oh.
or perhaps he is hunting somebody who is on their honeymoon down.
Josh was telling me to put my foot down. What are you
Because it
doing?
keeps kicking me. This
I'm
table's not
I'm
big enough.
keeping it back.
It keeps
I need to
kicking
cross
me.
my legs.
Keeps
Keep
kicking
going.
me.
Keep going.
So that's why I put some skydiving. That could be action, or that could be a honeymoon activity.
Oh, skydiving would be a honeymoon activity for James.
We've got the beach, we've got Hawaii, and then we've got this kind of classic car chase. Everything is sort of in this watercolor style.
Yeah. This
I don't
looks
know.
like the
That was a filter, wasn't it? Used.
So this is a bunch of different
Assets.
layers.
Yeah.
Run through a specific filter.
No. All run through different filters.
Oh, okay.
So the car was actually originally a watercolor car that I ran through a different filter to make it kind of match everything else.
yeah.
Sam Neill was a real person picture that I ran through a filter. The Hawaii
The filter's a good move. It takes a bunch of elements that don't match and make them feel like they're a part of each other.
the Hawaii background was already watercolor. Didn't change that at all.
Okay.
And the skydiving I changed.
Right.
And then the spirals, I just kind of put them in and then clipped them out.
Mm-hmm.
Had to erase some around the car to get it to come out of the spiral.
Yeah. So we both have the gun barrel spiral.
Mhm.
So Joshua, do you have?
I did not.
And then
no.
the legs.
Oh man.
The legs I actually put in because I like the way it kind of looks like a 7.
Yeah.
And also legs. There's legs in a lot of
There are legs.
James Bond.
Now I'm gonna be
posters.
honest. You kind of have to step back to notice the legs.
Yeah.
Like you gotta
No, I
see it
see
from the
'em.
big,
I see 'em.
big. You gotta kind of see it. I wish. And
wish
you got
they were
a little bit
a
of
little
butt
bit more
action
prevalent.
At the top.
Yeah. There was actually a lot more butt creases, and I cropped them out because I didn't want it to be.
Yeah, you
PG
should
rating.
have pulled it up a little bit so we could tell it was a foot. A little bit
Well, you
more.
can see the toe. You can see
yeah,
the heel.
but
you can
no,
see
you
it-
can't
you
see
can see
any
enough
toe.
of it.
You just see heel.
And he
There's
stands
heel right there on the.
right.
Well,
in
no, I
between.
said heel. You can see heel. You can't see toe.
Yeah.
I wish you pulled it up to see the toe.
Now you should be lucky. With my story, I was this close to going with legs.
Yeah.
I
This
like the
close.
legs. I just didn't want them to be like front and center, and this worked because it looks like a 7.
Yeah.
It does look like a 7.
It does.
So that's kind of my thinking there,
Cool.
and that's it.
Yeah.
Very
That's
thoughtful.
mine.
Very thoughtful.
Before you go to mine, so I have said on this podcast multiple times, there's been multiple occasions that I wanted a specific actor, or I think he would be the best James Bond to play after Daniel Craig. There is a lot of people that have that could play the role, but he would be the best character.
In
So
your
go ahead and-
opinion.
in my opinion. Go ahead and swap it. So I think Richard Madden would play the best James Bond, and that's what I went with. So I was looking up Richard Madden. I'm like, okay, I got you. I looked up Richard Madden first, and I found a GQ photo shoot he did
Yeah.
where he had the suit already. So I'm like, we're going with it. We are going with it. We're building our poster around that. And this is what I came up with.
Death for dinner.
Yes. So that's very cheesy, but I was trying to go with like this cheesy, a James
What
Bond
I noticed
title.
from your posters most of all is you always go black and white,
And you always
Yeah.
lose the
and
text.
you always splash in red
Yes.
every time.
It looks so good.
Hold
It
on,
does
hold
look
on,
good.
hold on.
I won't lie.
I need to see more. The death for dinner is hiding. Like,
I will
they don't,
say,
doesn't pop
Maybe.
enough.
can I
Yeah,
critique this a little bit?
Yeah, it should have been different.
Death
font.
for dinner should have been gold.
Okay, maybe.
Like,
maybe.
You see what I'm
freaking
saying?
No Time to Die.
Yeah, I if Death for Dinner was gold, I think this would have been a really. But I like red.
Yeah. It looks
They
good.
don't use red
It
as
looks
much.
good.
I'm also gonna say, I wouldn't have added the lady.
No, because okay, so I had him
We all
and
have ladies.
without the lady, and there was something missing in the background. I should have.
Legs,
I needed something.
some legs. I'm
No.
telling you, no. The James Bond posters with legs, amazing.
No, the
Every
lady
single
fits
one.
in there. I think the lady, because I wanted this.
You didn't take out the trademark on 007.
What do
You
you
just
mean?
kept it in.
Yeah, that's fine. TM 007 trademark.
Yeah, but
No, I'm giving him trade.
Trademark by
It's fine.
MI6.
Yeah, yeah.
all right, whatever.
Um,
I took mine out.
Well, no. So mine's is this. It's more of a dinner setting. The film, because I was coming up with the movie was going to be about. It's almost these two people are going to dinner, and there's not a bunch of people, but it almost is a Clue-esque James Bond where.
Yeah.
Who got murdered where, and you got to figure it out.
So it's kind of bottle episode James Bond movie in one locale with a number of interesting characters. I like that.
Kind of like Knives Out,
yeah,
but with
yeah.
James Bond.
Yeah, which is kind of like
Clue.
which is kind of like Clue.
Which is what I
Yeah.
said.
Okay.
I like it. I like the concept. It's
or
very
like that
cool.
Clue episode with Psych.
The mock of what I'm actually saying it is.
Yeah.
But no, this is what I went with, and I'm very pleased with it.
Okay, I feel like we need to crown. We need to give the winner.
No, the audience crowns, because mine is fantastic. I went with more of a modern Daniel Craig version, and you guys both went classic.
Well, the modern Daniel Craig version is my least favorite of all of the James Bond
Your
posters
least favorite.
because they're boring and black and white.
Not my favorite.
Now that you
least
say
favorite.
it, my poster does look like a book cover.
They're all different for different reasons and for
Yeah.
what we like. You like not
I
the
like
Daniel Craig.
I like this 70s, 60s
You like
kind of look.
the book cover version, and
Hold on,
I like
I
the
don't
modern
like the
one.
book cover version. Just saying it happens to look like one.
Go back to mine real quick.
Why are you so obsessed with yours?
It looks good.
I mean,
it's black
you
and
know,
white. I want to see you do something that's not black and white.
It's black and white.
You always go black and white because it's easy to do black and white.
No, it looks fantastic.
No, it's easy to do black and white. Admit it. Go in black and white,
My
put some
only
red
other
text on it.
critique, yeah, honestly, it's just the woman. I think her hand is a little bit.
Her hand is. I will agree. I looked forever for a lady that would work.
Did you go with another GQ lady?
No, I looked. I could not
So
find.
that was the only other reason that I made Sam Neill more watercolor looking, because I did, and I added a little bit of the
white outline.
You see the bluish white and then the orange here.
Yeah.
The same with the legs.
Yep.
Because I didn't want that kind of. It definitely looks like a PNG image
Yes.
look to it. So that was the only reason I went for those, and it looks like those old 70s thing.
Yeah, we're not granting a king here because audience has to decide who do you think is the best, has the best poster. Comment down below because
Do we say poster with story?
no, because maybe, but I don't think the story is
Okay.
as important as the.
Well, no, story motivates the poster.
Yeah,
So
but
you could put thoughtfulness into your poster from your story like we did. And so
Okay.
what I'm saying is that should play into it, right?
I think yours and mine are very similar.
yeah,
No, they're not.
Because it's all about a woman.
yeah.
Honeymoon man is very much, if he's on his honeymoon, the woman is very important to that.
Yeah.
The women are very important in yours, and also Josh's. There's a woman
Standing behind him.
standing behind him. She's clearly important in this.
She's the same size as him,
She's bigger than him.
taking up more space in the frame.
No, she's wearing high heels,
Okay, yeah.
She's wearing high heels.
She's that fake tall.
and we know James Bond. He might not be very tall.
I think the most interesting thing for me is that it goes from
Very old book
it goes from
cover-esque.
very old book cover where nobody's really real
Yeah.
to sort of real watercolor-y
Yeah.
to photoreal.
Yeah.
I think that's fun.
We definitely choose different types.
Yeah.
And that's actually why I put it in this order.
So
'Cause
that-
it looks older, middle, new.
So that's
Nice.
why I don't think we can grant a specific winner because we all are gonna vote for our own because we all have different styles.
We don't vote.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll put up a poll when this episode
On the
comes
studio
out.
channel. We have to do it on the studio channel because that's the one that has a community tab. That was it.
Yeah.
Were you happy
That's
with
all.
that?
I'm very happy.
I'm very happy.
You guys put the effort in, and considering we all only worked on it basically Saturday, Sunday.
I didn't work it at all today.
I worked on it.
Finished
today.
it yesterday.
It took me a couple
I finished
hours
mine
today.
yesterday. Well, you had to add that woman.
Yeah, you have to add a
Yeah,
woman. Just like to your life, you got to add a woman.
Maybe that will make things better.
Yeah.
Wait, you guys are saying the woman didn't make things better.
I will say what I would have done is if you take the blur tool and just blur around the edges of her hand, it makes it less obvious.
Yeah, it takes out. You got to look at it and be like, what's distracting me? For me,
No, I
was the
knew that
trademark.
the woman was distracting.
The trademark is the first thing that distracts me visually. I look at this and go like, what's standing out? Trademark.
Did anybody consider doing the really classic movie poster where mine would have said Sam Neill as James Bond in Ian Fleming's 007 Honeymoon Man?
I considered it.
I
considered it, but I've done that for every poster we've done. I was the one who did the classic movie poster thing.
Yeah.
So you just decided to go
I think
away from
we all ended up going with just
Hold on. I got a
title,
question. I got a question.
007.
Yeah. I got a question. Go back to Joshua's.
Yeah.
If this is happening like at a dinner in a house, why do we have a city?
No, I didn't say a dinner at a house. I said it was like a
it could
clue.
be in like
it is
high rise.
They go,
But it's
they
for
go
dinner.
out-
It says death for dinner.
They
It could
go
be in a
out for
high
dinner.
rise.
Yes, they go out for dinner as a thing.
Maybe a high rise, yeah.
And
It's in
it
somebody's
becomes
loft.
that version of a thing. Yes, it is in the city.
Okay.
It's almost the menu / clue.
Yeah.
James Bond version.
I like it. It's very cool.
All right. That's. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Hi.
We still have one more segment.
I'm ready for it. I'm excited about what this segment is. I don't think I know what it is.
Okay, so this segment is a little bit of a blast from the past.
Oh no. Literally spit on me. You spit on me because you've been blasted from the.
Sorry.
You've been thinking about this movie way too much.
So when
We watched it, like,
we
one
went to
time.
Georgia. I've seen this movie a couple times, and Josh watched this while we were down in Georgia.
Is it that good?
No, it's not. It's not even a good movie.
It is a good movie.
No, it's not. It's a cheesy movie.
It's a cheesy movie, and it's very fun and enjoyable.
What are the significance of the martinis?
Because his parents are from like the 50s.
Yes,
I don't know.
Martinis.
His mom becomes an alcoholic
Yeah,
because she
she's
lives
very
down
much-
underground for so
So
long.
the premise of this movie, Blast from the Past, is in the 50s. Christopher Walken is and his wife. They're pregnant, and he's like very aware.
We gotta go underground because there's gonna be
The Russians.
and
He's very worried about the
nuclear
Russians,
war.
right? And so he builds a bunker. He's very rich. He made very smart stock investments. So he builds this massive replica of his house underground.
Okay.
Bunker, aquaponics farms, everything. A plane crashes near his house, and he thinks it's the Russians nuclear bombing the area. He takes his pregnant wife down into this bunker and locks it for 35 years.
Yes.
Dang.
His child is born down there. They live down there till his child is like 35,
Which is Brendan Fraser.
which is Brendan Fraser. And he comes, the door unlocks, and they come up in like 1995 or something.
nice. That's a good year.
And he's looking, he's looking for supplies. He's looking at all these new people and everything. And he's also looking for a wife, which is where Alicia Silverstone comes in. And
She's got a weird smile.
yeah, it's a romantic comedy. Brendan Fraser's performance is one of the greatest things in this. It's wonderful.
What? As like Matthew McConaughey getting stuck in the rom-com era for a minute, Brendan Fraser got stuck in this, spoof comedy-esque movie era with George of the Jungle, with this movie, with
Even to some extent, The Mummy was kind of a Indiana Jones-ish thing.
spoof. Yeah, I would agree. And so Brendan Fraser,
He's really
He
good
got
at playing
typecasted
these
a little
kinds of
bit, yeah.
characters. And the reason I bring this up is this is a really interesting idea for a movie, for a romantic comedy back in the 90s. And my question is, where did they go?
Where did they
they're
go?
still here. They're still here.
No, they're not. Where are these interesting romantic or drama movies that have interesting premise. Meet Joe Black. Brad Pitt is a guy. He walks out in the street after meeting a woman, and he gets hit by a car. And death, the embodiment of death, takes over his body, and kind of falls in love with the girl that he was talking to.
Right.
So, and because death just wants to experience what it's like to be a human. Mm-hmm. It's this interesting premise. It's a love story. It's kind of a comedy. It's kind of a drama. What happened? Why aren't people coming up with these ideas anymore?
I watched Vanilla Sky last night.
Okay.
And Vanilla Sky is not a rom-com.
Mm-hmm.
It is actually more of kind of like a narrative on, privilege, I guess, and as well as...
They are still making it, Wyatt.
Bros doesn't count. I was actually going to bring this up later. Bros doesn't count.
But
Why?
Like,
It's not an interesting
What about
twist on
Alright,
the romantic comedy.
Passengers?
never mind.
What about Passengers?
That's not a romantic comedy. But again, it is a twist on the romantic movie thing. What were you saying about Vanilla Sky?
I was just saying it's not a comedy, but it was kind of like a early Inception concept. But most of the film revolves around this love triangle or his romantic life, right? So they injected love stories into everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
I think this era, late 90s, early 2000s, was this really interesting era for romantic comedies and romance movies in general, where they were taking these interesting ideas like Blast from the Past, Meet Joe Black, 13 Going on 30. Mm-hmm. She makes a wish. She's 13. She makes a wish that she was 30, flirty and thriving. And she goes for she wakes up as a 30-year-old.
Right.
In the future and realizes, I neglected my family. I neglected my friends.
It's got Ryan Reynolds?
No, it's Mark Ruffalo and Jennifer.
Why did you think that was Ryan Reynolds?
Mark Ruffalo. Yeah, and Jennifer.
Looks like Ryan Reynolds.
No, it doesn't.
What's her face?
Does that not look like Ryan?
No, it doesn't. Not at all. That's Mark Ruffalo.
Crazy. Your opinion is always weird.
That looks like Mark Ruffalo.
It does look like Mark Ruffalo. You're right.
I'm about to lose it.
What I'm saying is these ideas were interesting.
Yeah, they were fun.
I haven't seen anything like this in recent years.
It's because films needed to connect with people in a way that they are familiar with. Everyone has love stories in their life, okay? Mm-hmm. From the time you're a prepubescent kid, you're probably thinking about love or lust or something.
Yeah.
When you hit puberty, right? So love plays a huge role in our culture, and that's what they were really glomming onto.
In the 90s.
In the 90s and early 2000s, they were really glomming onto this. Now, it is more about what is justice? That's what we see in everything, do we not?
Look,
everything's about justice.
You brought up Bros. Bros is supposed to be a romantic comedy. But
it's also about freaking justice.
But it is about justice.
It's more about justice.
It's less about this interesting premise. Death becomes a human. She travels forward in time. I mean, we were even doing this later on. Hitch. He's
in leap year.
He's a pickup artist that advises other men.
What year did this come out?
This is 2005. Leap year is 2010.
Okay.
Failure to launch.
Yeah.
All of Matthew McConaughey's films.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it's
yeah, but he got stuck in that genre.
I know we kind of consider the 2000s and the late 90s the years of the romantic comedy. There's a lot of interesting ideas running around. Are we out of comedy? We're not out of romance. I don't think anybody. We have romance to spare, humanity. Are we out of comedy?
We're
Okay,
out of
I'll say
romance,
this.
too.
We're out of romance. No, we're out of
think
romance.
we're out of romance?
No,
We're out of
because
romance.
romance is not the same. Romance
We're out of
is like,
romance.
I will have sex with you if you acknowledge that you're a privileged white man who doesn't deserve it.
So you're saying
That's the narrative
you're
for
saying
every
they're
love
pushing
story.
identity politics into
It's
romance
not just identity
and
politics.
comedy.
It's literally about demeaning everybody, so anyone who's in the downed crowd
Mm-hmm.
can have can get their voice, not even get their voice out there. It's to say their piece in a stupid freaking story. You know what I mean?
Have you guys seen Leap Year?
No, I haven't seen
it.
it.
Chris Pratt. No,
Not in Leap Year.
No, I'm thinking of a different movie. Have not seen this actually.
So
I was thinking a different
the
movie,
premise
Chris
of this
Pratt.
movie is she wants to, she reads something that says her fiance hasn't proposed to her, or he's not her fiance. Her boyfriend hasn't proposed to her, and she really wants him to propose, but he goes off to Ireland for a business meeting. And she looks it up. She's like, oh, there's this folklore thing that says on a leap year, on the leap day, a woman can propose to the man.
Yes.
So she flies to Ireland.
Nice.
And gets lost, and this other guy helps her get from.
And she falls in love with him.
Yeah, and she falls in love with him.
That's
and
pretty
it's
standard.
dumb, and it's fun to watch.
Okay, I gotta say this. Is it Matthew Goody or Matthew Good?
I'd say Matthew Good.
Okay, so I just watched my very first piece of media with him in it.
Really?
Yeah. And it was The Offer. He played the executive at Paramount.
Cool.
In The Offer, and he's really freaking good at act. He's really good on screen.
He's really good with an E at the end.
He's really good with E at the end.
You guys have seen Hitch?
Yeah.
Definitely seen it.
Okay, good.
Definitely seen Hitch.
Now,
I never noticed his belt buckle was an H.
Yeah.
oh, that's true. So no, we don't have love stories anymore. And we don't have fun love stories, period. It actually has to be
Even the
everything love
ideas.
story has to be sobering.
Even the idea, it's like we've lost love story comedy, but we've also lost interesting ideas. Guy who comes out of a vault, out of a bunker,
Yeah.
35 years later.
Or
Um,
even better, comes out of cryopod in the middle of space, voyaging to a
that was
new
like
planet.
the last one that I'd say Passengers is the last romance that we've had with an interesting premise.
Okay, we got to entertain this.
No.
Maybe we haven't seen them. Let me Google
Where they been?
Rom Coms 2022.
That's what I was
Google
trying
it.
to look up, and I
Let's
just found
see.
Bros.
Let's see if anything even comes up because
It was Bros, and nobody watched Bros.
I mean, like Bros and that weird one that was on Hulu.
Best romance movies of 2022. No, I want rom coms. Best romantic comedies of 2022.
Yeah, click that.
All right.
Yeah, the one with
Okay, so I have heard a little bit about the one with Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock.
yeah.
Some people said that was okay, but it wasn't very original.
All right. So, Book of Love. Come on. I haven't heard of that, but that's on
Never
Amazon
seen-
Prime.
Yeah, well,
Nobody's talking about these.
Okay. I Want You Back. No one knows about this.
yeah, I've never seen that one.
No one knows about these. Marry Me. We heard a little bit
did-
about
we did
Marry
hear
Me.
about
bit.
Mary-
Who's it?
Mary
Who's
Me.
it? This guy in it. Who is that? Oh,
Owen Wilson.
Oh, Owen Wilson.
And
Yeah,
he's in Marry Me, so that was one that came
But-
out.
Wasn't that February 14th last year?
I don't know.
Yeah, I want to say that was February.
Tall
14th.
Girls.
Nobody
is a
watched
sequel.
this.
Everybody watched.
Nobody
Nobody
watched
watched
this.
that.
Okay, Moonshot.
Nobody watched it.
Nobody.
No,
never heard of it.
I've seen that was the
Have you?
Netflix one. Yeah,
That's
Okay.
not
Oh,
Netflix. It's HBO.
HBO. That was the twin.
Okay.
What? The twin?
So nobody's heard of it.
Isn't the twin guy?
No one knows about it.
Lost City. I've actually seen stuff on this one
Okay, so
because it's a little bit
so
of a
right
romantic
now we have
comedy.
Lost City and we
Yeah.
have Marry Me. Okay, those might be contenders, but still,
Nope.
The Crush, not really.
No.
Hulu's always a dud. Like they put out stuff, but nobody watches it.
No.
Never heard of this.
Cha Cha Real.
That's the 50 Shades of Grey
Real
girl,
Smooth?
right?
Cha Cha Real Smooth.
Sure.
No, that's 50 Shades
Shades
Girl.
of
Yeah,
Grey
you're
girl.
right. That is.
Don't know. Is that
No.
Joseph
Good
Gordon-Levitt?
No.
No. This Good Luck to You kind of looks like maybe an older woman story, which means this probably isn't a comedy so much as it is like an emotional piece.
Yeah. Who's in it?
I don't know. I wish they had IMDb links right here.
Yeah.
But it's on Hulu.
Mrs. Malcolm's List.
I don't
I've not seen any
know.
of these.
People just don't. We don't
Nobody's
know about
heard
these.
of any of these.
Miss Harris Goes to Paris.
I
Nope.
think I have actually heard a little bit on that one, but nothing significant.
Wedding Season. Nope.
You know what we should do? Get John Mark on here to talk about rom-coms.
Spin me
He's
around.
seen a lot more than
He
we
sees
have.
so many.
Now that's a crazy title.
Yeah.
Spin me around.
Spin me
I don't know if that's rom-com.
I don't know if it's wrong.
3,000 Years of Longing. That's Tilda Swinton, isn't it?
Yeah, no.
And Idris Elba.
Yep.
Is it? That's
No,
not
that's
Elba.
not Idris. That's
You racism.
Tell me that's not Idris
You're a
Elba.
not
racist.
Idris.
All right, what is it called?
3,000 Years of Longing.
IMDb. Don't tell me that's not Idris Elba. Come on now.
It's not Idris. Right there. Right there.
You racist.
If it's Idris,
That's not Idris Elba.
That is Idris. That is Idris Elba.
It is Idris Elba.
That
you
is Idris
racism.
That that photo.
You don't
did
know
not,
Idris when you see him?
That does
Look
not
at
look like
his
Idris,
ears.
but that looks like
He's an
Idris.
elf. He's an
Okay.
elf.
Okay, that one does look like him.
That
You
one looks like him.
racism.
You're a racism.
You're racism. I knew it was Idris. You didn't. But you're right. It was
Tilda Swinton.
Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, I know
She
Tilda
plays
Swinton.
the witch in The Lion,
The
the
Lion,
Witch
the
in the
Witch, the
Wardrobe. Yeah, she's pretty good at that. I don't know. I don't know where they've gone, Wyatt, other than we decided to create crap ones.
Yeah, I got nothing for you on that.
With Marry Me and what was the other one? The Channing Tatum one?
The Lost City.
The Lost City. Those are probably the biggest
That's
hitters
really it, honestly.
from last year. Who knows? And I think it's because
They're too busy.
studios decided to invest in superheroes.
Or no, I was gonna say
And
sequels.
Star Wars and
Sequels, yeah, redos,
Sequels.
revamps.
And a lot of it's superheroes and Star
Mm-hmm.
Wars.
Yeah, I want to see more stuff like Hitch.
Just unique
What about
stuff.
a Star Wars rom com?
No
Oh,
thanks.
Well,
Shut
even
up. That's a dumb idea, and we never want to hear from you again.
okay, what was that one film called? The Banshee of what?
Inisherin.
The Banshee of Inisherin. Did you guys watch it yet?
No.
Haven't.
I think it might be the winner of the
It's
Oscars.
got Colin Farrell in it, doesn't it?
Oh, it's really fun.
No.
It's and it is
I like me some Irish.
now. It's not a love
Love
story,
me some Irish.
but I will say if there's like a really good film that everyone should watch, if you want to just giggle the whole time, you should watch that one.
All the Irish YouTubers I watch swear a lot. So
Yeah,
anytime I speak in an Irish accent, there's like this propensity to swear
yeah.
every other word.
Yeah. Now I will say this: in the Banshee, they do cuss a lot, but they don't for the F words. They don't do like a hard They change it with an E, so it's a second.
Ah, yeah. Yeah, it's the Irish.
No, and the titles say it that way because they
Yeah.
also say the regular version.
Yeah.
But just on casual, they do the E. Right.
Yeah.
So if you want to enjoy like a film, you're gonna giggle throughout, and it's just hard.
And
just love-
obviously, I know
wonderful.
they don't all talk like this, but they do sometimes get up there.
I don't know. We might not have a award show if we. Yes, Will Smith again. Someone slaps.
Well, the Grammys are always out of control. Music artists are always way more untamed.
Did you guys see anything from the Grammys?
No.
Some satanic shit right there.
Yeah, I saw it.
That was wild.
It was not great.
no,
yeah.
I haven't
Sam
seen
Smith
it.
has just taken the wheels off the past
Somebody needs to
4 months or 6 months or so.
Is he
Lady
with
Gaga had a girl throw up on her.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
Did you guys see that?
that's funny. No, I
That
didn't
was
see
wild,
anything
like-
about it.
And she threw up on her.
On purpose?
Yes.
Why? Wait,
part
Lady
of
Gaga threw up on her?
About her
No,
thing?
she had a girl throw up on her
What for?
for the music, for the Grammys.
But why? What was the point of that?
I don't know.
They
I had to watch
got
the-
voices
Maybe
in their
that is
heads.
satanic.
It's all satanic.
That sounds crazy.
The Sam Smith show was like, I mean, we're talking pentagrams and devil costumes. and
Look,
people
at this
licking
point,
and humping bars and
look, they.
That sounds crazy.
No, okay. Let me ask you this. So Maverick City's a worship group that's become really popular.
Mm-hmm.
They were nominated for the Grammys, so they went. Right. Imagine being just like a group of Christian worship artists
people.
in the middle of all that and just being like, "This is hard."
And yeah, you're watching Sam Smith grind up on like a jail
And
cell.
you're just
with
there to
people
try
in
to be
it.
like, yeah, Christians can win awards
Yeah,
too.
Christians are good artists as well.
And it's like, where are we at?
Lady Gaga's getting thrown up on, and
Sam Smith is having male
summoning the
gay
devil.
orgies. Good grief!
Wild.
No, I didn't see any of that.
I've never seen anything like it in my life.
It's ridiculous. And honestly, maybe we should take him into the town square.
That could be the
And I don't know. It
him
might
at the stake.
maybe getting rid of some of these crazy people might be the option for humanity, or the only
I don't know. I
direction.
saw Sam Smith's outfit later on, he looks like he's gonna float away. Looked like that thing had helium in it.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's weird.
Yeah, he's lost it.
The elephant man.
Yeah, I think all cultures lost it. Honestly,
Was that our last segment?
That's our last segment.
I'm gonna just I do that.
what are you doing? Are you going all the way back to posters?
You know,
No.
I would if you
No.
were doing the
You're
slides.
obsessed with your own
If
poster.
you were doing the slides, I wouldn't think to touch the computer.
Yeah.
Not once.
But you always reaching across the
every
table.
time I do slides, you're reaching across
Hold
to
on.
mess with.
Hold on. You've
either gonna
always
sit on-
laughed at me whenever I would freak out that he would do that.
Yeah.
Now he does it to you, and you're like, "What the crap are you
Yeah,
doing?"
he did it last time. I was like, "What the heck are you
We're
doing?"
either gonna just be on this or nothing.
Yeah.
What is wrong with this?
This is the end.
This is our podcast.
All right. Yeah, we will go back. I'm
No.
sorry.
No, go
hold
back
on.
to the poster. That's
Yeah,
what this
we will.
podcast was about.
We
Just
will.
go to
We'll
all
back
of
to
them.
the poster. There we go.
I'm fine with that because that's what this episode
That's
was about.
mine.
Was the posters.
It was all about my poster.
That's fine. Leave it here.
All right, what story are we doing, and whose turn is it?
It's my turn.
Are we going clockwise or counterclockwise?
Yeah, my turn because you
Okay.
did it last time.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, so it's you have to come up with a story.
Yep.
I feel like it's my turn, but I'm not gonna say.
I think it's his turn.
No, it's mine.
It was
'cause-
him, then you, then me.
Okay. All right, fine. We'll do it that. I think it's Joshua's turn. Okay, so give him a prompt then. I'm pulling up the. For people who don't know, we do 30-second stories to finish off the episode. Joshua has to come up with something wild, which, based on his opinion of stories, it might be lacking.
We'll
see.
So,
Hey.
first prompt, Swedish fish.
Oh,
Ooh.
Second prompt, letting go of control.
oh.
I know exactly what I'm going to tell.
Okay. First prompt, Sam Smith. Second prompt, honeymoons. Yeesh, that's a tall order, sir.
I hate to do this, but I'm going to have to do it.
All right, I'm giving you 10 seconds. You ready?
I hate to do this.
Okay, 10 seconds.
I don't
are
need
starting.
10 seconds. Ready?
No. Give yourself 10 seconds.
I'm ready.
And go.
So Sam Smith was on his honeymoon with his lover, and he was eating Swedish fish because he enjoys Swedish fish, and it was his time off. So he's eating the raspberry. What he said was, "This is a good raspberry flavored Swedish fish," but his husband at the time said, "No, it's not raspberry. It's definitely cherry. It's definitely cherry," and they looked it up because they had to find out if it was raspberry cherry, and come to find out it was cherry flavored Swedish fish. So Sam Smith ultimately had to accept that he was wrong and lose control of the situation of how it was not a raspberry flavored Swedish fish.
Okay, so vigorating story. First off, you didn't bring in letting go of control
Yes,
until
he
after
let go of
30 seconds.
the-
Until after 30 seconds.
Oh.
Let go of control, sir, and let me finish. Until after 30 seconds, you didn't bring that into it.
This is an
So you
episode.
technically fail.
Hey, he didn't get to it till like
Also-
35 last time.
No, he hit all his points. I just was waiting for him to bring back around that he was a podcaster.
Oh, maybe.
To like full circle it.
Okay,
and he
I'll
didn't
do
full
better
circle
next
it.
time.
So you didn't include in your 30
We
seconds.
also established that Swedish fish, nobody knows what the flavor are. So, and they're
In my
not
story,
cherry.
they're cherry. In my story, they're cherry.
I don't know about this. We literally said there are different people who pull different things out of Swedish fish as far as flavoring goes.
Do we need to plug anything at
Well,
the end
no.
before we
In the
have
story,
this argument?
in the story,
The Wisework Studio channel. Subscribe
go
to us there so you
check
can
out the
follow.
Wisework Studio
We're
channel.
putting out high quality videos over
yeah,
there.
and the Patreon.
Thank you,
in
Karina,
the
for
links in the
being a
description.
Patreon.
Cynthia, we shouted out Karina last
Cynthia.
time. Don't give
Thank you,
Karina a
Cynthia.
shout out on not her episode.
in
Thank
the
you, Cynthia.
story,
They all
it
get
is
a rat
cherry.
shout out.
Since it's your own made up thing, it is cherry.
Okay,
So, that's good.
Did you know how much controversy and stuff happened on the Wizard of Oz movie that was just madness?
You mentioned this, but what else was there besides Dorothy becoming a drug addict and killing herself, and the Tin Man going to the hospital for lead poisoning? What else was there?
We didn't look up. Much
We didn't
after
look up
that.
everything, but like,
Oh, you just got blown away by those two things.
Yeah. We really
no.
did.
There's just insane stuff about because it was way back in the day and there was no regulation for things, and just like
movie productions
people
were out of control.
dying, and they're like, oh, they died because we did the wrong kind of paint, or oh, this director is the main actor.
Yeah,
and she has
it's
to
like
drugs because she's
it's like the
drama.
one,